Wow, look at them all go. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Russell. I'm a client of Optavia and a health coach as well. This morning, while everybody's coming in here, let's go ahead and get started like we have been. So you guys jump in the chat and just throw one or two things that you're grateful for in the chat. And then while, let's see, get that up so I can see what's going on there. God has given me another beautiful day. Amen. So we're going through this book, and I love how sometimes things are just really timely, right? This is what I was going to talk about this morning, anyways. But yesterday, I was asked to participate in a leadership book. It's John C. Maxwell's Failing Forward. I know several people have talked about we're going through this book right now. But there's a quote in here, and it says, "You're more likely to act yourself into feeling than to feel yourself into actions." So true, right? A lot of times we sit around waiting to feel motivated to hoping that we're going to wake up tomorrow more energized or more excited about whatever it is we're going to get into. When the reality is if we would just get into it, we would become more motivated and we would start being more excited and feeling better about it. Right. So that being said, this morning, we're going to take our win the day and we're going to do a little power hour or power quarter at the same time. So we're going to put some things into action. So the first thing I would like everybody to do, I'll work through this because I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to actually do this. We're going to do a couple things. We're going to first message whatever format you want, messenger, text message, call and leave a voicemail, whatever you need to do. But I want you to think of one person that you're grateful for this morning, and I want you to let them know. I want you to let that person know how much they mean to you. Okay. And then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate this for all of our other coaches and our clients and everything else. So on your page, on your coaching page, on your community page, wherever you want to do this, I want you to go in and post what you're grateful for today. If you're not sure what to do, I've posted the last couple days in First Five and Organic Coaching. So you can just search my name and add what you're thankful for to the comments there. All right. But yeah, let's put a little bit of action behind the attitude here. So shouldn't take very long. I'm going to say 2 minutes. So I'm going to say 2 minutes. You guys go and let's thank somebody and then post on one of those, multiple, however many you can get to. Post on there how or what you're grateful for this morning. All right. If you're not done, please feel free to keep going. or you can jump back out into that afterwards. If you want to thank multiple people or let multiple groups know what you're grateful for, even better. But sometimes, guys, we want to let things out, right? We want to start doing it. It's easy to internalize things, but sometimes it's harder to let things out in the open, take our mask off a little bit and be a little bit more vulnerable. And I know that when other people do that, it encourages me. So as leaders, which that's what all of us are here this morning, we're showing that by example, being on this call. We want to do that for the people around us as well. So this morning, I want to talk to you about complacency. At Optavia, you hear this, you hear it talked about more as autopilot, right? We want to be more present and not walk through life in autopilot. How do we do that? So in my other profession, I am a journeyman lineman. I build high voltage power lines. So complacency in my industry is very dangerous, right? Guys get hurt, guys get killed. So complacency is something that we take very strong posture around making sure that we don't fall into complacency. So what we do there, the main tools we use is we use direct questions and breathing. And all we're doing there is we're trying to get people to stop or come out of that autopilot mode. Our brains are really good at things. Anytime we do things in repetition, our brains take that and it pre-programs responses in there. Now, this is good or bad, depending on what we're trying to pre-program, right? If we're pre-programming drinking our water, this is a good thing. If we're pre-programming whatever, some task that we're doing where there's danger involved, not so much. We want to be a little bit more present. We want to be thinking. So what we use there is, like I said, we use direct questions, because a direct question forces us to stop and think about it. We have to answer it. So I know you guys probably don't build power lines, but we all do things every single day where if you think about it, you started to do something and then the task was completed and you don't even remember doing it, right? It got done. It's usually the mundane or the things that are not so much mundane, but very repetitive, right? Driving a vehicle on the freeway is extremely dangerous. Can be, right? Unfortunately, people die every day on the freeways. How many times have you gotten in your car, backed out of your garage, and arrived at your destination and you don't remember any of the drive? Okay. That's our brain. And I'm not going to get into what parts of our brain do stuff, because inevitably I'll mismatch which parts do what, but that's our brain and our pre-programmed responses that take over. It's really cool because our brain says, hey, we've done this, I've got you. So now you can use a different part of your brain to focus on something else. We can listen to a book, we can carry on a conversation with whoever's in the car with us. Some of us are really talented. We can watch TV while we're driving down the road. I've seen that. On our phones, everything else. So like I said, it's good or bad depending on what we're doing. In my profession, we have a team, right? We're never out building power lines alone. There's always a group of people there, right? And in a lot of times in our life, we have a group around us, whether it's our family or our friends or whatever. So the question thing will work, right? We can ask those direct questions, and it's the response. It's the three-way communication. Asking the question, the person responding to you, and then you acknowledging that you heard them forces you out of that autopilot and to think through each step of what you're fixing to do. But what do we do when we're alone? What do we do on a Friday night when everybody else is out of the house, right? So somebody want to throw in the chat what we use here in that circumstance? We use stop, challenge, and choose. Right. So with Dr. A, and what we're taught and what we're teaching others is to use stop, challenge, and choose. So stop, challenge, and choose, guys, there's a lot to it. But if you had to boil it down, what stop, challenge, and choose is, it's wait for it, okay. It's giving yourself the time. It's allowing the time that it takes to travel from our brain stem all the way up to our prefrontal cortex, our thinking brain. Dr. A describes it as our lizard brain, our Labrador, and our human or our thinking brain, right? I think most of us have heard this. If you haven't, it's in your life book, page 116. It talks about it. But we're really just giving ourselves time. So how do we do that? We're giving ourselves time before we react, before we respond, to think, taking a drink of water. But the biggest one is breathing. Okay. Breathing is breathing is the best way, the number one way to take control of our thoughts and our actions. Right. So step one is recognizing that we're in that scenario. Step two is, okay, let's give ourselves time to respond correctly, or at least make some decision and not allow the autopilot or the pre-program to decide for us. All right. So we breathe. Yesterday, Brian was talking about meditation. I know what I felt as soon as he said the word meditation, and I was watching all these screens and I saw some people lean back. I saw a couple people pick their phone up, and then I saw a few of you guys lean in, right? Because the word meditation, he was right? I think the same thing. I think the monk in the orange, yeah, that's what I think. I'm like, nope, not going to do it. Guys, it's breathing. It's breathing. And for some of you that are leaning back right now, the Navy SEALs use box breathing, right? In high stress situations, to help with stress and overall mental health, the Navy SEALs are trained to box breathe. Box breathing is a technique. It's called box breathing because it's a four count. It's 4 in, hold it, 4 out, hold it, 4 out. So it's squared. So it's box breathing. It's so effective that they are now teaching first responders, firefighters, anybody that's in a high stress situation, that box breathing is what they're using. This is not what they're using in the morning when they wake up. They're using this in the middle, right? Navy SEAL, firefight, box breathing. They're trained to start box breathing because it allows them to be conscious. It allows them to be present, and it allows them to make good decisions in highly critical situations, right? When we're stressed, when our heart's beating really hard, when you can feel it in your throat because you're so angry, you could choke somebody. They start breathing. All right. So Dr. A on page 119 gives us kind of the example of how to do this. So I want to go through this with you guys. We're just going to take a minute and do this. If you're not comfortable with everybody watching you do this, so you can shut your camera off for a couple minutes here, but I would really like you to participate. So let's go. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna establish a constant rhythm of breathing so that you have the same cadence of inhalation and exhalation. All right. So if you've never done this before, play with it. Some of it's 4 seconds in, it might be a little bit longer out, 6 seconds out, it might be 5 and 5. All right. But I want everybody to just take a deep breath in, 4 seconds, and then out. All right. Keep doing that. In, 4 count, your rhythm. Find what's comfortable. It should not be laborious. It shouldn't feel like you're hyperventilating. It should be very relaxing. Right. So as you're doing this, just feel yourself relax. Just in, deep, all the way out. You want to create an even flow of airspeed on the inhale and the exhale. They should be about the same. They should feel the same. Literally feel yourself breathing. Feel that breath as you're breathing in, as you're breathing out. Now I want you guys to focus on the center of your chest as you're breathing in. Keep that rhythm. Just keep that real deep in, out. Just focus on positive. Think something positive. Think about that gratitude that we just shared, that person that you were thankful for, right? Feel that chaos, feel that kind of release, right? I know you guys a lot of you guys have your eyes closed, but I'm going to tell you, you're smiling right now. I see a lot of smiles on the screen. Okay. So come back with me here, guys. It's 7:15. 1 minute, that right there, when we're feeling stressed throughout our day at any point, it's proven that 1 minute of that can change your whole perspective and have long-term effects on your health. So read about that. Like I said, page 118, 119. Guys, I'm super stoked that I got to work with you and be with you guys this morning. Have a great day.